Hey,
Uh,
Doug.
Hi, Peter. How are you?
Good, man.
Well, I'm going to jump right in. I was very disappointed when you left Accept a few years ago, 2018. It was sad to see you guys split apart there. Now we have Ash Rain, fantastic album. Let's start off talking about that, how that project came together.
It was 2018. I met Nozomo backstage in Japan when we played Tokyo with Accept, and we hit it off right away. We talked about music and whatnot. We exchanged numbers, and then a couple of months later, he called me and said, "Listen, can you do me a favor? Play a couple of bass tracks on these tracks."
Yep.
And I did, and he absolutely loved it. The record company loved it. And then he asked me again to do some tracks for Paul Shortino for a solo album he was producing. I did that. And then the record company recommended, why don't you do something with him? Because he had a band before, Destina. So we started talking about doing something together, and it evolved from there. We came up with the name, and then COVID hit, kind of. We all know that. So there's 2 years that are gone. So that's why the album came out now. It actually was supposed to come out 2 years ago, but we're already like writing new material, so might as well keep going. Lurie, the singer, absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Unbelievable. Andy, the premier drummer from Spain, outrageous. And Nozomu, he's a big producer, and he does a lot of other stuff and artwork and digital work and great guitar player, great look. So it's an interesting new band. If you're a fan or a consumer of that type of music, it's really something you should look into, because it's almost like a little bit like, I always call it maybe a little bit of Dokken and Motley Crue and Ingwe on steroids, and then there's a little rainbow in there. It's really a nice combination, I have to say.
The elephant in the room, and this dropped last week, that you are officially back with Udo Dirkschneider.
Yes,
How does this all work together?
First of all, Ash Rain, at this point, we just have one album, so we can't really play live. It's not really enough. I would never go out and play like Accept songs with another band.
Yeah.
You know how that. So I think we're not going to do anything live until maybe next year. And then it sounds like something good we could do in Asia, Japan, and whatnot. So that's number one. Number two, Udo called me in September when they started their big European tour, and the bass player collapsed after the second show. And they had 2 days off, and they were frantic. They didn't know what to do. So they called me up and asked me, "Listen, can you learn 16 U.D.O songs?" That was on a Tuesday, and meet us on Friday in Berlin on stage. And I said, "Well, I'll certainly try," and I did, and showed up, and learned most of the stuff, and went from there. And then the tour took me about 3 months. We ended like the beginning of December, and then he asked me again if I could fill in for some dates. They couldn't find anybody, and then he asked me flat out. He said, everybody absolutely loves the way you play, and the fans. I get so much feedback that, and I'm the happiest ever to have you. What would you say if you just come on board? And to be fair and honest, but that I wasn't the happiest person with Accept before. So
Okay.
in my life, every day counts. When you reach my age, I'm 65 now. I want to enjoy my life, and I want to do anything I don't like. I have that right now, and you reach that level that you just say, no, I really like Udo. It's really amazing to be on stage with him. He is a legend.
Oh, yeah.
The band, very respectful, and we get along so great. And it's a lot of fun. So at this point, I said, you know what, why not? Ash Rain is not going to do anything till next year, and the whole festival season is coming up, and I think I'll go for it. Why not?
Now, as a journalist, I have to ask this. Now, you've been with Wolf and Accept, and now you're with Udo. Is the problem between Wolf and Udo a little bit? Is that, am I putting one and one together and getting two, or is there more?
No, you're absolutely correct. The problem was always between Wolf and his wife and Udo. I never had a problem with Udo, but I guess he wasn't sophisticated enough. He was a blue collar guy. He was a singer, and it never worked out between them. They just hated each other. And I said that in another interview a while ago. I said, we made the biggest mistake. I was asked actually by Metal Hammer, worst Accept album, and I thought it must have been Eat the Heat, because we left our true destiny, the singer, which was the sound of the band is gone, and we try with an American singer to sound like Def Leppard.
Yeah.
What a stupid idea there. I think 2005 we did a reunion tour with U.D.O, but I kept in touch with Stefan and through him with U.D.O. Wolf and Gabi always had their quarrels, they're back and forth in the media, and I kept out of that. But I told the guys in the band, because they all chimed in, F and U.D.O and this and then. I'm thinking, without U.D.O, you wouldn't be in this band. You're the singer now and you're the drummer. You all, humping on U.D.O. You never met the man, first of all. You never said a word to him. And it's so easy to judge somebody.
Yeah.
Without him, you wouldn't be nowhere.
Did you feel like you were kind of stuck in the middle sometimes between them?
Of course. You go up together, you have a band, and fans, people who follow a band, for them it's hard to fathom that and to understand what you're going through, because you spend half a lifetime together or even longer. And you trust people, and then trust is betrayed, and you think, why? What is there to gain? A little bit more money, power? Is that it? I guess that is what it is. That certain people need control. They can't let go, and if they don't have it, they're not happy. So in the end, when you mention Accept albums, the first one was really good because that was stuff that mostly I had accumulated over the years. So Wolf and I wrote that first album together. That was killer. But after that, it was so predictable. It was the same riff. It's the same thing, the same. So we were very divided. There was one side just wanted, I never forget that. He said, we can just do this and ride in the sunset together. And I said, I think I have a different sunset in mind, because I want to be relevant with my music. I just don't want to just keep my fans happy and don't go anywhere else and just keep doing this. I want to evolve. I want to explore things. And, I come from a progressive background. Emerson, Lake Palmer, things like this. So I was always like, God, this is just that same stupid riff again. The same vocal line, just another word. I didn't want to do it. It was just too many things that were just bad, from the financial situations, trust issues, musical, everything was wrong. So that's why I left. Riddance I did because COVID hit, and for me it was great to dive into other things. Did solo record for Mick Mars, played bass there with Ray Lucia from Korn. So I did a lot of things. I played with a lot of people, played tracks with people from all over the world, from Iran, Greece, and I got exposed to some nice music. And then when U.D.O hit, I wasn't aware of his albums, how good they were. So now it's actually nice because he has two bands. He has U.D.O, which they play their own material, and Dirk Schneider. And we did one show in Japan with Dirk Schneider, the first Dirk Schneider show. And that's just hilarious because it's like two Accept and the Sun playing all Accept material. It's so authentic. Really, it was really like, oh my God. And it's we're talking on stage about the old days, and the fans are just enjoying it tremendously, I have to say. The trick with Accept before was the third component. That was Stefan Kaufmann. Great guitar player, great composer, producer, drummer. So the three of us, that was, that's where the Accept sound came from. And then U.D.O was on top of that. That made it work. Now it was only two of us left. If it only goes one way, one steers the ship, and that's my way or the highway. And that highway, gets a little boring. Life experience, you need things happening in your life to be able to write about something. You can't just fish it out. Get it out of the air. Oh, let's write about this. It's all that hard.
For more interviews, news, reviews, and streaming rock radio, check us out at rockyouShow.com.